Now the thing is, I didn't create a save immediately where it ended, so just gonna hit skip. We'll let this play out. What was the question? Something darts in front of me. Ignore it. Guess her name is Amy now. Deflect. Damn, I don't remember what I said for this one. Hope it wasn't too hard on you. I don't know, it was effective. I will admit it's an effective method.
Does that mean you forgive me?
No. I nod, she smiles, and she sighs in relief. Should I try it again?
Are you feeling up to it? If you need to take a break, we can...
Anyway, we will hit the Earth Temple. Is every forest in this place haunted? Okay, for a second there, they were just staring at us. Too many bongo. We'll let Leanna do the talking. And here we are. So we're finally in the new content. Hope I didn't keep you guys waiting too long. The temple structure, at least what remains of it, reminds me of the one from the Fire Temple. It's built with an open front and I can see where the altars may have stood in the past. Now it's just weathered stone. The columns are still holding up, but I watch them precariously, untrusting of their stability. Vibrant green moss camouflages the gray stones. I have to admit, the view is quite impressive. Kara takes the lead and steps carefully on the stones, obviously testing for traps. The rest of us hang back and let her explore without distraction. Leanna holds onto the Pongo, who seems eager to explore with Kara. After circling through the temple, she returns to us perplexed.
Based on the design of the Fire Temple, I figured the Earth Temple would have more traps. Or even just one trap, but I found 0.
It means you're not needed anymore, Kara. Take a hike.
Then we should definitely stay on our guard.
Are you doubting my abilities?
Yes.
No! I just meant...
Kara giggles.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Zach rumbles and crosses his arms. Amelia steps up to the temple and starts to have a careful look around. The rest of us slowly filter in too. The Pongo hops out of Leanna's arms and bounces excitedly into the temple. Amy fidgets with her manipulator, much to the curiosity of Leanna.
What are you checking? I am searching for any anomalies in these magic readings. The barrier from the last temple resonated a unique signature. If such a thing were to exist here as well, it is highly likely to lead us to the Earth Elemental.
2 exists? Kara shakes her head in wonder.
I still can't believe the elementals are real.
I wouldn't jump so fast to that conclusion.
Seriously? Did you forget about our journey to the Fire Temple?
I didn't. But I don't remember me or the rest of you seeing the fire elemental. Except him.
Zach gives me a pointed look.
He wouldn't have a reason to lie about it. Exposure to large quantities of magical energy can potentially cause hallucinations. There have been documented cases of such events transpiring.
I'm not... Meh. Whether they're real or not doesn't really matter as long as the energy absorbing can help to create a rift. Amelia nods and continues to poke around on her manipulator.
There appears to be a strange pattern regarding the energy distribution.
A sudden rumble from above breaks our attention. The rock shifts precariously, then crack and come crashing down above me.
Watch out!
Zach tackles me out of the way as rocks fall overhead. I land on the ground a few steps away. Zach, on the other hand, does a dexterous barrel roll tumble and lands on his feet. My mouth is agape as I watch the scene unfold. The This guy is a badass. He looks to me.
You good?
I pick myself up. Apart from a few aches and scrapes, I'm fine. Yeah, thanks. Zack nods as Amy hurries over. Oh, good. Amy, you're okay. What about the rest of the team? Amy silently points at the mountain of rocks, sectioning us off from the rest of the team.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
No! Kara's voice is muted from the other side of the rock wall. We're fine. What happened?
The structure collapsed from the instability of the ruins. I would advise caution moving forward.
The Pongo's voice is very small. Pongo!
Don't worry, he's safe here with us.
Damn.
Speaking of moving, how are we gonna get these stones moved?
Stand to the side. I'll move them with my magic.
We step out of the way and let Leanna do her thing. I can hear Leanna's efforts in channeling magic. But nothing happens. There's a pause, then I hear her further attempts at casting.
I can't seem to move any of the stones.
The frustration is evident in her voice. It's weird that she can't move any of the stones at all. I watch Amy step to the wall and scan it with her manipulator.
Interesting. It appears these are no ordinary stones. They are shielded with magic.
What does that mean?
The magic they are shielded with are dampening any other outside magical efforts.
That's not good.
However, in the light of this new information, I am able to adjust the type of reading necessary to override the wall's magic block. By doing so, I am able to plot out the navigation of this temple as the ruins emit energy. Based on our current locale, our paths will converge in a short time if we move further in.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Let's get going then.
With Amelia in the lead, we head out. We walk for a couple of minutes in tense silence. I feel a need to fill the silence with something. I hope Leanna and Kara are okay.
They're both resourceful, so I'm not worried. I'd be more worried if you were the one stuck on the other side.
Worried about me? Ah. Damn, I never knew you cared so much. Zack blinks at me in surprise.
Huh? Well, obviously you'd just get lost, and we'd have to waste hours trying to find and rescue you.
Probably true. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Zack doesn't respond, but continues walking. I turn to Amelia. Seriously, can you believe that?
Yes, his assessment of that particular situation is accurate.
After she speaks, she walks right past me and keeps pace with Zack. As annoyed as I am, he did save me today, so he might have a little bit of a point. But he didn't have to put it so bluntly. After a while, we arrive at a fork in the road.
This is where Leanna and Kara will converge paths with us.
How long until they get here?
She fiddles with her manipulator.
Leanna's energy reading is here, which means they should be here very soon.
We settle in as we wait for them to arrive. Zack leans against a wall, crosses his arms, while Amelia plays with her bracelets and creates something that looks like a translucent map. She's probably plotting out our course. A few more minutes pass before we hear a familiar voice. The Pongo races past Leanna and Kara and jumps straight into my arms. Hey, Pongo, you okay, buddy? He burrows his face into my chest.
Hey guys!
Kara walks with a bounce in her step. She's grinning from ear to ear. Leanna, on the other hand, is as red as a tomato. Amelia looks up as Kara rushes over.
Hello. That took slightly longer than anticipated. I noticed Leanna's energy signal had become stationary at one point.
Oh, it's because...
Because nothing.
We glance at Leanna, surprised by her outburst. Her face reddens even further, and Kara giggles.
What? I was just going to say you got tied up with something.
Kara!
We just had to wait for you to wrap things up.
Kara!
Kara laughs, Leanna huffs.
What's with all this standing around? Let's get a move on already.
Without waiting for a response, Leanna starts walking. The rest of us look at Kara with confused expressions. Kara simply smirks. What happened? She winks.
Oh, that's a secret.
She rushes to catch up to Leanna. Amelia shrugs and does the same.
That was... strange.
You're telling me. I turn to the Pongo in my arms. What exactly happened back there? The Pongo's face looks grim.
Poi,
He bounces up and down to emphasize his point. Oh, how I wish I could understand you right now. Zach taps me and gestures towards the group.
Come on.
I nod, not wanting to be left behind. We jog to catch up with the group. We continue down the path of the Earth Temple. So there's some sort of mini-game there we missed out on? We finally make it to the core of the temple. The center of the temple is a lot different than the rest of the place. For one, it's not crumbling apart. Birds flitter across the sky and there is lush greenery all around. Sitting in the middle of the garden is a beautiful woman. Her dress is the same green as the plants, and there's something about her that feels warm, inviting, and alive. I'm gonna call her Saria. The sounds and voices of my friends fade away as I'm filled with the tranquility and beauty of nature surrounding me. She raises her hand, and at her touch, I feel a sense of calm and peace. Just like at the Fire Temple, I can feel the revitalizing effect of the energy absorption. The more energy I absorb, the more translucent the elemental becomes until with a small smile she disappears. Slowly, the scenic nature view fades from my senses and I'm pulled back to the crumbling ruins of the temple and the curious faces of my friends. Amy and Leanna hover by me as the Pongo looks up at me from the ground.
Boy? His pupil dilation is returning to normal.
Are you feeling okay? You completely zoned out there.
I nod. I still feel dazed as the remnants of tranquility begin to fade.
Did you see the Earth Elemental?
I did. This time, though, it felt different. When the energy was channeling into me at the Fire Temple, I felt a rush of passion and strength. This time, I felt more of a sense of peace and calmness.
However, your mention of feeling emotions based on absorbing differing elemental energy types is quite fascinating.
So, she didn't voice the first line?
It is something which has never been reported before, given that the humans of Terra cannot absorb energy. Once your senses have fully returned to normal, I would appreciate discussing in greater detail what exactly you experienced during the actual absorption of the energy.
Sure, we can talk about it later. Where is Zach and Kara? As if on cue, the two of them appear, each holding bags filled with what I would assume is whatever loot could be found.
Don't mind us. We just went on a little all-you-can-grab treasure buffet.
She grins and opens her pouch to hand something to Amy.
Here, I found this.
She hands Amelia an ancient tome.
I figured you might be interested in this sort of thing.
Amy carefully turns the pages of the book with great interest.
This is written in ancient Gaian script, a language which I have studied, but I am not fluent. It will take me some time to translate it using my references, but the content should be most academic.
She smiles at Kara.
Thank you.
Kara pats her on the head.
You're most welcome.
A rumble above interrupts us. We all tense up and go on high alert, but no rock slide occurs this time.
It looks like we got everything we need from here. Let's head out before another cave-in blocks our exit.
We all agree, still on high alert, and make our ways out of the temple as quickly as we can. We make it out of the temple and back into the forest. The sunlight shimmers through the trees, making me wince and blink. Leanna lets out a deep, relieved breath.
We made it.
Kara smirks.
Yes. I guess you could say you finally managed to escape.
Leanna's face turns pink.
What?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot it was supposed to be a secret.
She winks.
That's fine with me.
Leanna's blush darkens.
Kara?
Kara giggles.
Sorry. I know this isn't the time for that.
Leanna looks a mix of embarrassed and annoyed. Puns are dumb. You can stop any time now. Kara gasps and then feigns hurt.
You don't like puns? That's like treason.
Zach's face seems to be stuck in a permanent grimace. His eyebrow twitches.
Please stop. This is unbearable.
You mean unbearable?
Kill me now.
As riveting as this conversation may be, perhaps we should focus on our purpose of coming here.
She points a finger at me. Now that we have successfully made it through the temple, let us not forget our purpose for coming here. We look at Amelia with curiosity. She gestures to me. So, this is some sort of error. Yeah, there's no line there at all.
His energy reading has increased substantially. Perhaps it is now possible for him to open a temporal rift.
You want to try that now? A grin spreads across Amelia's face.
Indeed.
This place is pretty barren. I suppose we can try it here. Kara blinks.
Oh, you're doing that again.
She shuffles away and away and away until she's behind a tree.
Keeping watch again?
You know it.
Zach creates a bit of distance too, but not as much as Kara. Leanna and Amelia look at me.
Are you ready?
Kara's voice is far away.
Wait!
She races back, scoops up the pongo, who gives a little squeak of protest, then sprints back to her tree. Finally, she gives a thumbs up.
Okay, good to go.
All right, let's try it. Just do what you did last time, except now you can focus and channel your energy.
Amelia, who's staying beside her, nods. I close my eyes and I try to focus on creating a rift. I bring up in my mind the images of what I saw when I first entered Terra. I inhale and exhale slowly as I try to draw in on the peace that I felt when I met the Earth Elemental. I remember the scent of wildflowers, the fluttering of birds, and the creaking of trees. It fills me with a soft, gentle calm that spreads throughout the rest of my body. An odd, tranquil stillness fills my mind.
Keep going. Visualize your cast.
My brows furrow. I see a dark shape peeling away at the sky. And suddenly, a hot surge of energy flashes down my arm. There's a loud crack followed by a hiss. I open my eyes. A churning wind pours out of my manipulator and swirls about the dirt and grass. The trees groan and sway. I try to keep the wind stable, but it's just too strong. The muscles in my arms strain with effort. The wind whips about Leanna's hair and clothes. My cast is more powerful than before, but still unrefined.
Indeed. You are nervous and panicking. Erase your mind and calm yourself.
Erase your mind? Right. Don't panic, don't panic. My heart lurches. Anxiety coils in my stomach.
You may stop now.
I do as she says. The wind snarls and then smooths to a gentle breeze. The last bit of it skims through the grass and then vanishes, quick as a butterfly flutter. My arms dangle at my sides. They feel as if they're being pulled down by heavy weights. I take in deep breaths, my heart still pounding. I cringe and look up at the two. How'd I do? Leanna hesitates.
That was...
A failure.
Amelia!
Amy blinks in surprise.
Is that not what you were going to say? He was unable to create the rift.
Leanna sighs and crosses her arms.
He did better than his first try. He actually cast something this time.
Amelia blinks again.
I see. I suppose there was some improvement.
She taps her chin in thought.
I believe your magic training should involve bettering your accuracy and honing your focus. At this point, we are still unsure if the inability to create a rift is from the lack of energy or technique.
Right. I puff out a defeated sigh. It seems that I still have a long way to go.
Hey, where did Zach go?
Huh? I look up. Zach isn't anywhere in sight. That's weird. I glance around. Deep in the forest, I see a rustle of something black. I squint. Maybe it's Zach's trench coat. I zero in on it to see Zach and Kara peeking behind the same tree. Hey, when did you get all the way up? When did you get all the way back there? Zach's voice is faint.
You couldn't control it. No way was I gonna stand there if you went splat. This coat is not easy to clean.
I can respect that. My jaw gives a little tweak. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Kara grins and claps her hands. She shouts for us to hear.
You put on quite the show. Glad I wasn't there for it, though.
Leanna frowns.
Okay, it's done now. Can you guys come back?
Can you guys come back? Kara skips over. Zach follows with his arms crossed.
So, where to next?
According to Elder Issam's notes, Ellendale is the closest city located to where the ancient people worshipped the air elemental. I believe we will be able to uncover more information from the library there.
Kara smiles and ruffles Amy's hair.
Sounds great, Amy.
flushes. She coughs and then glances away.
Let us be on our way.
We hike out of the forest and find a new path. Amy leads us north, and we begin traveling on foot for the rest of the day. My legs ache, and by the time the sun starts to disappear, I'm ready to collapse. Maybe I'm still feeling the effects from trying to cast earlier, but all of this walking is making me feel even more exhausted than usual. We keep walking until we find a good campsite. Leanna says the large open space would be a good place for me to practice my wind magic in the morning. Amelia sparks a small campfire for us. Zach cooks up another delicious dinner, and by the time I'm done, I can barely keep my eyes open. The rest of the group is still up and talking, but as soon as I lay my head down, I tumble into a deep and fast sleep. The next day, Leanna and I get up bright and early. We decide to practice sparring before the others wake up. Our swords clash with a score of heavy blows. Leanna forces me backwards with a huge grin on her face. I'm breathing hard and struggling to keep up as my brows knit in concentration. Leanna sweeps my blade aside and comes back around, but I swing in time to deflect it. Her face brightens and she seems pleasantly surprised.
Wow, that's great! You're getting much better.
Really? Leanna's grin turns devilish.
Hi-ya!
She lunges and I let out a sharp cry, barely raising my sword in time. Her movements quicken as she strikes harder. I struggle to keep up, but I manage to hold my own. Ultimately, Leanna's final move knocks me to the ground. I groan, blinking up at the sky. It's hard to breathe with the wind knocked out of me. Are our spars always going to end like this? Leanna's face appears over mine. She smiles brightly.
That was so much better.
I lost yet again, though.
This time. But you're getting stronger and stronger every time.
That cheers me up a little. Leanna extends her hand and helps me up.
Let's switch gears. You've been doing really well with sparring, so we should practice your magic training. You need to learn to refine your cast.
I know she's right, so I nod. I'm feeling more confident about it now that I know I can cast. I think back on the countless previous training sessions and the frustrations that came with it. Even though I know I still have much time to learn before I can reach anywhere near Leanna's level, I'm just glad to be past those early stages.
Alright, practice channeling your energy through your manipulator. And this time, keep your focus on where you want to cast.
Float the Pongo. I think of a great idea. I take a deep breath, focusing on the energy coursing through me. A cool trickle of magic surges down my arm. The Pongo wiggles around, trying to get back on the ground.
What are you doing?
The longer the Pongo stays in the air, the more concerned he becomes and the harder he struggles. Hey, hold still.
Don't drop him!
I try to keep him steady, but the more the Pongo panics, the more difficult it is for me to concentrate and keep control. Sweat beads on my face as I try to keep the Pongo afloat. Leanna rushes closer and I lose my concentration. The Pongo falls in the air and lands right in Leanna's outstretched arms. Leanna cuddles him close.
Don't worry, I've got you.
Damn, almost got him that time. Once the Pongo calms down, Leanna lets him go. He hops out of her arms and back to the ground. He does an experimental bounce to make sure he stays grounded, then jiggles happily. Leanna smiles as the Pongo shuffles off, then turns to me. Sorry.
Maybe we should pick something more suitable for you to practice on.
2 Pongos? Leanna looks around and points on a large rock.
Try again on this rock.
I take a deep breath, clearing my mind, and cast again. As usual, a solid gust of wind bursts forth, and I steadily float the rock in the air. Leanna claps her hands together, a wide grin on her face.
Yes, that's it.
Hey, I'm doing it. Okay, get in there, Pongo. The Pongo glances at the floating rock curiously. In one motion, he jumps right onto the rock. The movement startles me, and the rock jolts in midair. The Pongo wobbles precariously, and I can feel the nerves set in again as I fight to steady the rock.
It's okay. Don't panic. Just keep your focus. Try to float them towards you.
Alright, it's just heavier now, so I had to adjust my energy output. I breathe in and out and refocus. The rock stops swaying.
Good. Keep going.
A strong breeze wisps around the Pongo, keeping him in place. I close my eyes and picture him floating closer.
You got this.
I open my eyes. The rock with the pongo floats closer and closer. A huge grin blooms across my face. It's working. The pongo jumps from the rock onto my head. As soon as the pongo touches me, I lose my concentration and drop the rock. Leanna giggles.
Great job!
The pongo wiggles on top of my head. Thanks for being a good sport. Leanna giggles as I pat the pongo.
I think that's enough training for today. You've made great progress.
Thanks. I can feel the fatigue start to set in, and I'm grateful to Leanna for ending the session.
Let's go rejoin the group.
Yeah, they should all be awake by now, I think. Leanna nods and the three of us return to camp. As I predicted, everyone else is awake and I even have breakfast prepared. After we eat and clean up camp, we resume our journey. After a couple of days of travel, we continue to journey along the path when I notice that clouds darken the sky. Kara and Leanna cast worried glances above as a loud crack of thunder roils above.
This does not look promising.
We should find shelter. We don't want to be caught in this storm.
Amelia cross-references where we are with Elder Ism's notes.
We are still quite a ways from Ellendale.
Then we'd better stop at the next city we see.
I think I have an idea of where we are. If I recall correctly, Wolfston should only be a few hours' travel. We can stop there.
Once agreed, we pick up the pace to combat the strengthening wind whipping at us and make course for Wolfston. Eventually, we see the tall towers of Wolfston. We shuffle through the city gates, casting worried glances at the ominous sky. The turbulent clouds don't look any less threatening. People keep their heads down as they push past each other on the streets. They must be looking for shelter from the storm. Damn, this place reminds me of Blighttown. I look at the surrounding buildings. Most are storefronts which blend into each other as if trying to stay inconspicuous as possible. As we travel deeper into the town, a few opulent buildings loom into the sky. I guess that's where the better half lives. Leanna shifts uncomfortably.
Is it just me, or are people staring at us?
Looking around, I notice all the furtive glances towards Leanna as people give us a wide berth in passing.
No, they're staring at you.
Zach's comment seems to make her even more anxious. Just ignore him. As everyone knows, the best way to address a problem is to ignore it. Don't pay attention to them.
That's not going to stop them from paying attention to me.
Quit being a baby.
When you remember what kind of town Wolfston is, it's no surprise everyone is staring at her.
I give Kara a questioning look. And what sort of town is it?
Let's just say that what happens in Wolfston stays in Wolfston.
Leanna covers a sigil on her manipulator with one hand.
Maybe this isn't the best place for me to be advertising that I'm a part of the Mage Guild.
Zach nods.
Agreed. You're making them nervous.
The stairs remind me of when I first arrived at Meadowhill. Should we find you a change of clothes to blend in more?
That is a satisfactory suggestion, but perhaps it should be executed without the presence of Leanna. The longer she is in the streets, the more attention she draws.
Good point. Let's hurry up and find the inn. Leanna can stay there, and I'll help her find a more suitable outfit.
As the winds pick up, more people creep out of shadowed alleyways as they seek shelter. I instinctively check my pockets. Something about this place has me on edge. Leanna is equally anxious, while Amy's expression doesn't change. She does seem more alert than usual. Only Zack and Kara seem unaffected. Before long, we reach the inn. I let out a relieved breath as the fire crackling in the hearth warms me. Kara and Zack go to secure us rooms and food, and the rest of us sit down in a secluded back corner. Although the lobby is full of people, it's more quiet than the other inns we frequented. Most patrons drink alone, and those in groups murmur softly, trying not to draw attention to themselves. We aroused a few curious glances when we walked in, but once we shuffled out of sight, people relaxed and forgot about us. The silence grows stifling as both Leanna and Amelia wait for the rest of the group to come back. As I'm wondering if I should say something, Leanna addresses Amy.
There's something that I've been wondering since Hearthpoint, but I haven't had a chance to ask.
Amy shifts her attention to Leanna.
Your mother mentioned that it's taken you a while to get field study approved.
Yes, that is correct. I understand that such things take time as professors want to ensure the study that is a proper fit for the student. But I will admit that I am beginning to become impatient.
She sighs.
Was the process for your field study equally taxing?
Leanna shakes her head.
No, I actually got the first one I applied for.
Amy blinks, then her eyes grow wide.
You were accepted upon your first application?
Yeah,
She stares at Leanna.
maybe the process is different for mage knights and mage casters.
Amy continues to stare. Leanna looks at me and I shrug. Amy?
I do not understand. I have completed all the prerequisites necessary to apply for a field study. I have even attended supplementary training to increase my potential for selection. For all the intents and purposes, I should be the most ideal candidate for the mandatory field study.
Is it just your professor's recommendation that you need?
Correct, but I have been repeatedly told that the field study is not a good fit for me.
Leanna rests her head in her hands as she thinks.
Do you think it has something to do with your age?
Amy frowns.
My age should not be an eligibility factor. I have proven myself to be capable enough to study as a mage caster.
This is pretty strange. And they haven't given you a specific reason why you keep getting declined?
Amelia shakes her head.
I am quite perplexed by the situation, especially now that I understand my difficulties are not standard.
I can feel the frustration behind her words. Sounds like the Academy has it out for her, and I think she's only just starting to realize that she's been treated differently. That sucks. I don't really know what to say in these kinds of situations. I don't know how their academy works, so I don't have any input to add. Usually when people vent, they just want someone to be sympathetic, right? Well, that sucks. Hopefully you get one soon. Leanna smiles encouragingly.
I'm sure you will.
Amy looks pensive as the conversation dies down. Kara and Zach soon return with bowls of food, which we quickly eat. As we push our empty bowls away, Kara drops a key into Leanna's hand.
Okay, so here's a key to our room. You can go upstairs and lay low for the rest of the night. I'll go check the shops and grab an outfit for you.
She winks at Leanna.
Don't worry, it'll still be cute.
Zach silently hands me a key for our room. What about the storm?
Oh, I'll be okay. Zach will come with me.
Zach crosses his arms.
I didn't agree to this.
Kara feigns hurt.
You mean to say that you would let a young woman venture outside into the storm, in the middle of the night, in a dangerous city all on her own?
Yes. Zach's eyebrow twitches, but he tries to remain steadfast. So yet another typo.
Guilt tripping me won't work.
Who knows what sort of ruffians are walking the streets this late? If they were to get the jump on me, then...
Sucks to be you.
Okay, fine. I'll go with you. Jeez.
He pushes himself to his feet. Kara grins widely.
I knew you'd come around.
Should have sent Amelia.
I'm only doing this so you can't blame anything on me later.
Kara smiles and drags Zach with her as they head towards the doors.
We'll be back soon.
We watch them exit in silence.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night.
As will I.
It is getting pretty late, and the thought of a real bed is very tempting after having to camp out for so many nights. I think I'll turn in too. Together we head upstairs, then split into our separate rooms. I relax in my bed for a while, enjoying the peacefulness of the night as I wait to fall asleep. The Pongo mysteriously emerges from somewhere and hops onto my bed. He bounces over and leans against me before finding a comfortable spot on my bed to sleep. I'm not sure how much time passes, but I eventually hear Zach return to my room and go to bed. I fall asleep not too long after. Okay, cross your fingers. Maybe Leanna will look like a clown in the morning. Maybe a little bit of Pennywise. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit more Bozo. Muffled steps in the hallway pull me awake. Blinking my eyes, I look around. The sun struggles to shine through the overcast sky, making it hard to determine just what time it is. Judging by the noise from outside, I'm guessing it's well into the late morning or early afternoon. Zach's bed is empty while the Pongo snores softly by my feet. He wakes up as I carefully crawl out of bed, and after blinking bleary eyes, grins widely at me.
Hi.
Good morning. I guess good afternoon. Yawning widely, I push myself quickly out of bed and get ready for the day. For once, we don't have an agenda we need to follow while in this town. I wonder what the others are up to and what the city has to offer. Ready to go downstairs? The Pongo shies away and buries himself in my blankets.
Boy.
Huh. That's a weird reaction. You don't want to go exploring today?
Boy.
The Pongo shakes his head. Whatever. I shrug. It's not like it makes much of it. It's not really like it makes a difference if he comes or not. He'll just disappear again anyway. Leaving the Pongo alone, I exit my room and head for the stairs. Before I reach them, I hear a strange noise coming from above. Is there an attic in this place? Nope, I've seen horror films. If you want to stay alive, you don't go towards the suspicious noise. I'm noping right on out of here. Ignoring the noise, I go downstairs. The lobby is as busy as it was the night before, with the same number of people filling the tables. I spot Zach exactly where I expected him to be, right in front of the bounty boards. Kara nurses a drink alone at one of the tables, but I don't see Leanna or Amy anywhere. I'm good. I decide to spend the rest of my time alone. I relax at one of the tables by myself, observing the people and enjoying my free time. It's not too often that I can have some time alone, and with the storm outside I'm entitled to feel a little lazy. The rest of the afternoon passes by uneventfully. With the dark clouds outside, it's hard to judge the time of day, but the skies seem to be darkening. I haven't seen Leanna at all today. Is she still in her room? I decide to see if she's free. As I approach her room, I knock on her door. Leanna? There's a pause, then a scuffling sound.
Yes?
You okay in there?
Yep. Fine.
Great, I'll be on my way then. Have you had a chance to look around yet? Maybe we go check out the shops.
Well, it's getting kind of late, isn't it? Might be better to stay inside.
Sure. Do you want to come downstairs and we can get something to eat? There's a pause again.
You know, I'm not very hungry. I think I'll stay here for now. Thanks.
I narrow my eyes. Is it me, or is Leanna acting a little weird? Are you sure everything's okay in there? Leanna opens the door a crack and pokes her head out. Her smile's a little too bright.
Yep, just peachy. Sorry. I'm just feeling a little tired. Nothing to worry about.
She's about to close the door, but I push to keep it open as my scarf is caught in the doorway. Wait. I push on the door to yank my scarf out. The door swings wide open, revealing Leanna's new outfit. She throws her arms around herself to cover up.
Don't look!
It's no worse than the other one. My jaw drops as I take in all of her outfit. What little there is of it. Interesting choice. That's not really a style I'd have pegged you for, but it's not bad. Leanna tries to cover as much as possible.
I didn't choose this. Kara brought this back for me.
Is this why you've been hiding in your room?
I can't go anywhere dressed like this. It's best if I just stay here until the storm is past.
It's really not that bad. Leanna just gives me a look. If you don't like it, we can go to the shops and get you something else.
Okay, let me change and then we can go.
I thought you couldn't wear your regular armor. Leanna blinks.
I can't go out dressed like this though.
Your armor will draw more attention. At least this outfit helps you blend in. She looks uncomfortable. Honestly, it isn't that bad. Besides, we don't know how long the storm's going to last. What if you have to spend days cooped up in that room? Leanna frowns as she thinks about it, then sighs.
I suppose you're right. Alright, we can go, but let's make it quick.
Gathering her courage, Leanna leaves the room and the two of us head downstairs. Nobody pays us any extra attention as we exit the inn. I squint up at the thick clouds. There is light rain. We better hurry if we don't want to get caught in a downpour. We make our way down the alleyway. Leanna still gets attention, although not the same as before. She seems annoyed by the sharp whistling from leering men. I wonder if I should step in.
Hey there, baby.
Isn't that Kaido's voice again?
What did you call me?
Leanna grabs the man by the collar and slams him against a wall.
What the hell?
Go on. Call me baby again. I dare you.
Leanna's grip on the man's collar tightens as he's pinned securely against the wall. She must be using her wind magic to be able to keep a man twice her size immobilized with barely a struggle. Leanna continues to watch him with challenging eyes, daring him to catcall her again. The man stays silent as he tries to break free. Leanna finally lets go and tosses him to the side. He falls to the ground with a loud thud.
That's what I thought.
The man picks himself up and scrambles away.
You crazy bitch!
Yeah, and don't you forget it.
A crowd of shocked onlookers stare at Leanna.
What are you looking at?
They quickly look away and resume walking. Satisfied, Leanna looks at me with a smile.
Shall we continue?
Whatever you say. Damn. Remind me to never get on your bad side. Leanna smirks. We continue down the street and reach the shops. Even though it's well into the evening, all the storefronts are still open. I guess this is one of those cities that never sleeps. Leanna and I enter the first clothing shop we find. She browses the racks, but her face becomes more aghast with every outfit she picks up. She holds up a piece of fabric so short I can't figure out if it's supposed to be a top or a skirt.
I don't think we'll find anything here. Let's go somewhere else.
I follow Leanna out of the store and into the next one. As she browses the selection, she seems even more disappointed as each outfit is skimpier than the next. After checking out a couple more shops with no luck, we enter the last shop on the street. Leanna checks out the racks again, then tracks down the shopkeeper.
Excuse me. Do you have any armor?
Absolutely.
He rummages through the clothing before pulling out what is essentially just a metal bra and thong. Leanna can't hide her horror as the shopkeeper smiles triumphantly.
Here you go.
How is that armor?
What do you mean? It's metal. That means it can protect you.
But what about the rest of me?
He's about to retort, but is left speechless as her words sink in.
You know, I'd never even thought about that before.
Most fantasy writers haven't.
Do you have anything with a little more coverage?
The shopkeeper returns to the racks and picks out another metal bra and underwear.
How about this?
How is that better?
Whoa!
Ugh, I am so done with this place!
Realizing that this is a fruitless search, Leanna fumes out of the shop and I follow close behind. She looks down at her outfit and sighs.
It's hard to believe, but I think Kara picked out the most modest outfit available in this place.
Looks like it.
I guess she knows me a little better than I thought.
As we pass a darkened storefront on our way back to the inn, two men melt from the shadows and approach us.
Excuse me, are those manipulators on your wrist?
Leanna and I glance at each other, then back at the men.
Why do you ask?
The second man speaks.
We have an offer which may be interesting to you.
Exactly. As magic users, power in your craft is essential. Luckily for you, we happen to know a secret technique to amplify your casting usage to your fullest potential, no matter the skill level.
What's the technique? The first man hands me a card. The den at Wolf's Den is written in curly letters.
Meet us at that location tomorrow morning, and all will be revealed.
Leanna narrows her eyes.
How do we know this is legitimate?
The second man smiles.
Your skepticism is understandable, but we've gone through this exact training and can personally guarantee results.
You're mages? Where are your manipulators?
I glance at their empty wrists. Leanna brings up a good point.
Right here.
He lifts his hand and points to the crystal inlaid ring on his finger. Leanna's mouth drops open in surprise, but she quickly composes herself.
Your manipulator is a ring?
The man flashes the same mysterious grin.
Be there tomorrow morning and all will be revealed.
They hand Leanna a card too, then disappear back into the alley. Leanna watches them retreat, a stern look on her face. You've got solicitors in this world too? It really isn't possible to escape them. She barely seems to register what I'm saying. Leanna. She blinks.
Huh?
That was pretty weird, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
I begin to throw the card away when Leanna stops me.
Wait! We need that!
We do?
How else will we find them tomorrow morning?
Wait, we're going to meet those guys? She nods. You believe that snake oil. Don't tell me you believe all that nonsense.
Of course not, but I'm sure other people have believed it. We should check out what it is they're offering, and if it even works.
I shake my head. There's no way it would work.
I know, but we should go just in case. Besides, there's no way those rings are actual manipulators. It's impossible to condense the amount of energy needed for casting into such a tiny crystal. Something doesn't add up.
It does seem a little too good to be true. She nods and pockets the card. Where does she have a pocket in that thing? The crack of thunder interrupts us. We should get back.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't see a pocket anywhere on that thing. We hurry back to the inn. I spot Kara and Zack at a table and we join them. Zack smirks when he sees Leanna.
Nice outfit.
Leanna's cheeks flush.
I don't want to talk about it.
Kara grins widely.
Oh, don't be shy. You've got to own it.
Leanna's blush deepens as she quickly changes the subject.
We were just out and ran into some strange men promising us unimaginable power.
She pulls out their card and places it on the table.
They said to meet them there tomorrow.
Kara and Zack study it.
I've never seen this before.
I have. They recruited me too.
Leanna blinks.
But you aren't a mage. They were looking for magic casters. Why did they recruit you?
Zack shrugs.
Something about being a valuable asset? I wasn't really listening.
We're going to meet them tomorrow morning. Leanna nods.
Same here.
What, really? Leanna looks equally surprised.
Sure.
Why? I thought you weren't listening.
I wasn't. But from what I did hear, it sounds like a scam for money. Money which should be liberated from them for the greater good.
Why am I not surprised?
All right, let's meet up there tomorrow morning and go together.
Zack nods. As if on cue, Amy joins the group.
Greetings. Have we all gathered here to partake in supper?
That's a pretty good idea. I could go for some food.
I nod. Same here. We order some food and sit together to eat. As we eat, Amelia looks intently from Kara to Leanna. Leanna shifts uncomfortably.
Is there something wrong, Amy?
There seems to be an undeniable trend in the clothing both you and Kara are wearing. Perhaps I should be wearing something similar.
Good luck finding that. Kara becomes stern.
We need to have a talk about what is and isn't appropriate for you to wear, young lady.
The irony of that statement is not lost on me.
Meh. I shrug while the rest of the team fusses over Amelia. There's no way I'm going to get in the middle of that. Once the team has calmed down and talked Amy out of purchasing an outfit, we finish the rest of our meals. Leanna reminds Zack and me to meet downstairs in the morning, then we all retire to bed. After getting changed, I fall into my bed and drift to sleep.